So my number one question is, how do I make money without working? And it almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Right? But and then you realize that people are already doing it. And this is the problem with entrepreneurship. Everyone thinks you're crazy until you become a millionaire, then you're a genius.
Meet John Lee, the self-made millionaire who went from humble beginnings in the UK to building multiple seven-figure businesses and reaching financial freedom by 27. He's grown a community of over 6 million followers on social media, and today he's a highly sought-after speaker for his expertise in AI, helping entrepreneurs scale faster.
So with AI, there's only 5 things you need to know. Because these 5 things, they'll know more than 90% of people out there. Now that's all you need to know. And I'll just call John Lee AI and they can talk to it.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I would like to have some business advice.
All right, Chloe, great to have you. I'm John Lee AI, your personal success strategist.
In our conversation, John not only shared his powerful investing and business framework,
So I have this thing called 30-30-30-10 strategy.
but also the deeper essence of what it takes to lead a truly successful and abundant life. Let's dive in.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Arigato Deep Dive. Oh my gosh, today I am mind blown by the guest that's sitting in front of me because I've been following him for so many years. I've seen him speaking on stages for so many times, and every single time he speaks, he inspires me. And that is none other than John. And he has been featured in so many different publications, from Wall Street Journal to BBC News, and been speaking alongside with Richard Branson, legends like all this. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining me today, John. And it's such an honor of me to have you here.
Chloe, thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited about this podcast.
Me too. And I've been like chatting with you so much just now, and you already gave me so much insights, and I can't wait to have those insights ported to the audience as well.
I can't wait.
So let me get started with the first question. I'm very curious about your upbringing because you are a self-made millionaire by 27 years old. And to many people, that is super impressive. And I'm pretty sure that your upbringing of you helping your parents, I think your parents used to run like a takeout restaurant and all this, right? So how has it shaped you to become who you are today?
You know, coming from a Asian background, it's like we work really hard.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm born in like the Gen X, millennial type of era. So we're used to hard work. Your parents say, go to school, get a job, work for somebody else, and work hard. And so that really gave me that ethic, that work ethic of just doing whatever it takes. And, the mindset is, even though I don't know anything, right, figure it out. That's kind of been, I'm just naturally a curious person anyway. So I always want to learn different things. But I think one thing I learned from, working in the Chinese takeover as a dishwasher is really understanding consistency, right? And then working out systems as well. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter what job you're doing. What matters is how you do that job. So, I saw my parents, cooking the fried rice, and then they would put the fried rice and they would have this water thing to spray it. And I said, Mum, that's not really efficient. What you should be doing is actually you have 3 woks ready that are already clean. Once you finish one, put that into the basin, then I'll clean it with a brush. And then you can have the next one there. So by you cooking this one will be washed. And now you always have 3 woks that are always being renewed. And then even when I was doing the washing, one of those, those big brushes with those really thick things on it, trying to scrub off things like sweet and sour chickens, which is quite hard, right? So then I came up with this design with my dad, and it's basically a brush. Do you know those brushes, those metal, they look like those round things that look like UFOs?
Yes.
But imagine taking a brush that's got all the bristles on there, then you take the round metal scrubber and you basically screw it on top. So if you can't you just turn the brush around and you do that, and it gets it off. So I had to come up with these old efficient ways of even it's just washing, woks and washing dishes. I had to find an efficient way of doing it.
I like how you've been thinking about systemization since young. And I think it just shows that no experience is being lost, right? You accumulate all these experience that doesn't seem to be very relatable to what you are doing right now, but it really transports that skill set and that development mindset into what you're doing.
That's right.
That's amazing. So when did you start your first business?
First business was in real estate, and I was about 23 years old.
Okay.
So I remember on my birthday, my friend Darren, he gave me this book, and it was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And when I read the book, I was like, oh my God, you can actually make money without working. And it almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Right? But and then you realize that people are already doing it. So then how do we get into the process of thinking So my number one question is, how do I make money without working? And when I say that, it sounds really scammy, right? But when I say without working, like, for example,
Now, before we dive deeper, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. As an investor, I'm always looking for ways to lower my fees and increase my returns. And recently, I found a great brokerage platform that helps me to do exactly that. Longbridge Singapore. It's a trusted platform that you can start investing globally with zero fees, a 12% interest boost, and even earn free shares like Apple and Nvda. Whether you are a total beginner or someone who has been investing for some time, this platform is packed with benefits that actually make a lot of sense for investors like you and me. Lifetime $0 commission, zero platform fees on your first 100 trade per market. AI chatbots which integrated with ChatGPT and DeepSeek to help you make smarter investment decisions. And it's regulated by MAS with 22 global licenses. But here's what really blew my mind. If you deposit just 2,000 Sing dollar, you will get a 6% interest boost for 90 days. And on top of that, because you are one of my followers, you will unlock an additional 6% boost, bringing a total 12% interest boost for 90 days. It's like having your money work harder even before you start investing. On top of that, you can even earn free stocks just by following a few simple steps. Plus, you will even get an $18 cash coupon just by funding your account with $2,000. In total, you will get up to $800 worth of rewards. This is hands down one of the best way to start investing in Singapore. Use my link in the description box to sign up for a Longbridge account and claim your rewards.
but when I say without working, like, for example, a lot of my friends, when I was growing up, they were buying properties for like £30,000, right? And we're going back some 40 years now. Those properties today are worth £300,000,
Yeah.
right? But even when those properties would lift double, right? They made put 30,000 in, and they sold it for another, 60,000. They made like 100% markup. And so I started to understand from an early age that, wow, all my Asian friends in the UK, like, they drive around in brand new BMWs. I'm like, how can you afford to buy that? Like, you're working in Tesco's stacking shelves. But what I didn't realize is they were putting money into something that was growing in value. And that's when I started to think, you can make a lot of money if you understand how people make money.
Were your parents supportive when you first started? Like, they were thinking, because usually Asian parents want our kids to work in a traditional route. Were they supportive, or were they the inspiration behind why you started your own business?
No, they were like, still to today, they actually still don't understand what I do. It's like, oh, what does your son do? Oh, I don't know. He buys houses, he buys properties, he buys businesses. Right? They don't really understand actually what I do. But back then, it was like, I remember the first time I told my mum, like when, you're an Asian family and you're sitting around having dim sum, yum cha, and you're doing all this nice stuff. And then everyone would go around the table and say, my daughter's going
a lawyer.
to a lawyer and my son's a
Doctor.
dentist, right? And I'm like, I don't do anything. I draw pictures because my background is animator. So they unfortunately is, and this is the problem with entrepreneurship, everyone thinks you're crazy until you become a millionaire, then you're a genius, right? And so I come down to this process of thinking and understanding, actually, what do I need to know, right? Because I always think about, if I want to do something, who do I have to know? What do I have to know? And what do I have to do? These are just the three questions. And when
Who do I need to know?
Yeah.
What do I need to know?
Yeah. And how
do I do it?
And how do I do it? Right? And that's the simplest way to do it. You just find someone who's already been there and just model what they do. And then you just copy what they do. Like, I'll give an example. People always ask me, John, how do you make videos go viral? First of all, you don't want your videos to go viral, actually, sometimes. Right? You want them to convert, not go viral. Two different things. Depends on your objective. But anyone can make a video go viral. You just find a video that's gone viral, just post it on your page, then it's going to go viral. Sounds simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? But it's not always about the end results, but the objective. What is the objective of the thing that you're doing? So when I first started in this whole industry, like my parents like, well, I just do my thing quietly, right? Instead they start seeing my lifestyle change. Right? I go from renting to now buying my real estate, then buying one real estate to buying another piece of real estate. And then eventually, telling my parents, oh, we're going to fly to Vegas, and I fly them business class, first class. I go, and then they start asking, how can you afford all this? Like, are you doing drugs or something? No, I'm not doing drugs. I'm doing entrepreneurship. So still till today, they don't really understand what I do, but that's okay. right? Because I retired my parents now, and that's actually one of the biggest things for me was like hugely understanding what it is that they want and then fulfilling that.
I think it gives you a lot of satisfaction knowing that
Huge.
you've done a great job taking
Yeah.
good care of your parents. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And for yourself, like you were talking about social media just now, and you did mention that right now it's not so much about the followers, but about the conversion. But I'm still very, very amazed by how you grow like 2 million followers on IG, 2 million followers on Facebook. What are some of the things that like it looks so good, right? But to many people, it only looks at the surface. But I'm pretty sure you put in so much effort and hard work to grow it. How did you do it?
So we have a lot of satellite sites,
Okay.
right? So for example, people like, for example, how many Instagram accounts do you have?
1.
You should have 10.
Oh, wow.
Why, right? Because if you've got 10 Instagram accounts and each time you post, you get 1,000 views per video, that's 100,000 views a day you're getting. Times that by 365, you end up with millions of views. And then you direct that to one place. Now all the traffic funnels back to your site. That's how you gain followers. And then you ask, okay, well, John, how do you know what content's doing well? So out of all the accounts that you have, you just monitor which of the posts are doing really well. And you take that and you recreate it on your main page, and now it goes viral, right? But again, we don't always want virality. We want conversion, right? We want to monetize. So this is what people mistake. I know people have got millions of followers but still broke, right? I know people have got 1,000 followers but making 7 figures. So how is that even possible? Because it's a hybrid of the two that you stick together.
And I think that gives the audience a lot of hope, because a lot of people would think that you need to have a lot of followers in order to make money, but actually you don't have to. You just need to know who are you talking to and how can you help them to create a solution to their problems.
Correct.
Right? Wow, that's wonderful. And for yourself, like, what are some of the lessons that, because you've been speaking alongside with so many legends and you yourself also coach athletes, you coach celebrities. What are some of the amazing things that you learn from them that most people are not aware of?
So, I have some of my friends, they're billionaires. I remember sitting down with, there's 2 of them. My first one, Wayne, I was in his penthouse in Dubai. And then I was like, hey, this is a question you should have billionaires. Like, hey, Wayne, if you were me, because you know what I do, right? Like, what would you do? And he said, John, right now, you're an author, you write books, and you go around doing keynote speeches, right? But all you're doing is getting paid a fee to go and speak on stage. And it's a sizable amount. I said, Wayne, I'm getting paid 100 grand to go on stage. He said, that's respectable. But how many people do you speak in front of? I mean, the last one you did, I saw you in front of 3,000 people. I said, that's great. He said, wouldn't it be great is instead of charging for a keynote fee, you just pick up 100 businesses. I'm like, say that again. And he said, well, imagine 3,000 people and you just said to people, hey, how many of you have a business in here? Right? And let's say everyone raises their hand. I say, how many of you like to, grow and scale your business? Okay, so everyone puts up their hand. Right? And then I just put a QR code up. They scan a QR code, go straight to my WhatsApp. We book a call with my team, and then they tell the team, okay, what business they're in, what niche they're in, what revenue they're making, how many employees they have, what solutions, where the bottlenecks, how long they've been in business. I mean, we have specific questions. Based on that, we can predict how much that company's going to make. Because if they're spending money on marketing, I can tell you they're doing it lousily. Most people do lousily. Right? So if we fix their marketing, if we fix their sales and we fix their team, they can scale. So then if they go from making 1 million to now 10 million, they've had an uplift of 9 million. So I just say, just give me some percentage of that. That's what he meant. It's like, oh my God, that's so smart. And so that was for me like the big aha moment. So that was my first big lesson that I learned. My other billionaire friend, his name is Glenn. And I said to him, and I was having an omelette with him at breakfast in Barcelona. I said, Glenn, like, you're a billionaire and I'm a multi-millionaire. Tell me what's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire? He said he took this deep breath and he went, and he's quite a reserved guy. And he's like, wow. John, millionaires, they can make and keep 100% of all the efforts that they make and earn. And he said a billionaire will design a system and figure out a way to take 1% of 1,000 people's efforts. And I was like, my God. When you have one of those bang, aha moments, that for me was just like, so from that day on, I just redesigned my whole business model.
Wow.
right? Like that for me is like, because if you want to go from like
Yeah.
millionaire to billionaire, like it's really hard to create $1 billion in revenue.
Yeah.
So it has to come from system and scale. And so this is when I started, my mind started to like change and shift. And for me, it was like the best trip I ever made.
Wow. It's really about leveraging on people's teamwork,
Of course.
success.
Yeah. But
And-
here's the thing, Chloe. You know when people start a business,
Yeah.
right? It's like, so they start off in a job.
Yeah.
We call this level 1. You work in a job. It's great. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Level 2 is, okay, you have a side hustle. You're kind of doing a job and you're doing this on the side, right? Level 3 is, okay, I'm making some money now. I'm making just enough to replace my income. Now you quit your job, you become a solopreneur,
Yeah.
right? Now you're a solopreneur, you start to do business, you have all this time now. You're doing all your marketing, it's going great, but now you're feeling overwhelmed, right? So you need to start hiring people now. So
Yeah.
then you become a business owner, right? Now you become a business owner, you kind of take a step back, you let your team do all the incredible work. Now you're making money. Okay, how do you multiply your money? Now you start investing it. Those are the 5 levels that I see when people start to really understand money and business, entrepreneurship, and investing.
And along this journey, I'm pretty sure they're full of challenges. Have there been time that you kind of felt like, why am I doing this? Like, I want to quit.
All
but
the
you-
time. All the time. I'm like, it's so funny because for example, we'll do a whole tour and it might take like 2 months for the tour. And I look how much money it makes. I'm like, I mean, I just need to sell a few properties and it makes the same amount of money, right? And then I question myself, well, why do I do it? Because buying property doesn't fulfill me. For me, it's about mission. What is my mission? My mission is I want to serve these people because I've been through what they've been through. And another one of my friends said to me, Johnny, we want to become a millionaire, help 1 million people. We want to become a billionaire, help 1 billion people. So now you want to build a system, but why make 1 billion, right? It's not about the money, it's about the impact. It's about the mission
Wow.
that you are trying to impart on the people, because when you leave this world, now you've left something behind other than money. You've left legacy, culture, meaning, purpose, fulfillment. That for me is what jazzes me up. Like if I just want to make money, and it's funny because I have an AI that does a full sentiment analysis test,
Yeah.
and whether how are people motivated. Some people extremely motivated by money. Some people are extremely motivated by impact and fun. Some people are motivated by data. And some people are motivated by just being an overachiever, right? So there's these 4 archetypes. And so when I did mine, it's like it wasn't about money. That's why my CFO would say to me, why are you doing that? It makes no financial sense to fly out there, fly your entire team out there. We don't even cover our costs. I said, but we make massive impact. You see, a lot of people measure people on how much money that person makes. They should be measuring people on how much impact they make. I mean, I'm sure with your podcast,
Yes.
how many lives that you have touched, even though
right.
you may have not made millions from that, but imagine all those people's lives who have listened to your message and the guests that you've had on, and it's inspired them
Yeah.
to take that leap. That is something that people should be measuring. It's not. It's like, oh, how much you're worth? What's your net worth? Who cares? How many lives have you changed? That's what I care about.
That's so wonderful. And it reminds me of, like yesterday when I was at Success
Yeah.
Resources, I saw like Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
He is so dedicated. Like at this stage, he definitely doesn't need that money, right? But he still chose to fly so long hours just to be here, even though he wasn't feeling well. He stood strong on stage. I think that is the impact that you are talking about. And I see that resemblance between you and him, like how much, like the dedication and the kind of mission that you guys have in you.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can better someone's life,
Yeah.
it becomes your duty to do it. Right? And if you don't, then you're being selfish. Because I don't know if you're a Marvel fan. You're a Marvel
Yeah,
fan?
I do, I
Okay,
do.
you've seen Spider-Man before, right?
Yes.
So with great power becomes what?
Yes, responsibility.
You go. We all have that.
That's true. And for yourself, like managing a team is definitely not something that's easy, especially with the rise of AI and everything. How do you integrate AI into your own business model to help you systemize it even further?
Right. So with AI, there's only 5 things you need to know. In fact, I'm so glad people are listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Because these 5 things, they'll know more than 90% of people out there. Now that's all you need to know. First one is prompt engineering. Right? You have to learn how to communicate with the AI. Like you have to learn to talk to it. You can't just say, write me an email. It's so generic. You got to say, write me an email on specifics, right? So learn to communicate. Second thing is agents. So an AI agent is something that can perform a task. I'll give an example. So someone says to me, John, can you coach and mentor me? Yeah, I charge $5,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Right, I can't afford that. Okay, well, I have something else for you. Speak to John Lee AI. And I'll just call John Lee AI and they can talk to it. Right?
Wow.
So let me see if this works.
Sure.
I'm Roman. Okay, you can speak to
You
John.
call
You can speak to
John
John. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey there, I'm John Lee's AI. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'm Chloe. I would like to have some business advice.
All right, Chloe, great to have you. I'm John Lee AI, your personal success strategist. To give you the best advice, could you tell me a bit more about your business or the kind of advice you're looking for? Are you just starting out or are you trying to scale an existing business? What are
Oh
your biggest
my.
challenges right now?
Wow, that is impressive. Okay, I am having a business right now. I'm trying to scale it, and I do have a little bit of social media followings, but I'm thinking about how do I do it better.
Okay, Chloe, that's fantastic. Scaling a business and leveraging social media is definitely something I can help with. To give you some targeted advice, could you tell me what kind of business you have and what you're currently
There you go.
doing?
Oh my
So that's an example. That's an example of an AI agent,
Oh my gosh.
right? So every task that you do on a daily basis, for example, content creation. Let's say I don't want to do it. I'll get Blair there to basically create some content and say, Blair, post a video, use this avatar, put this script on there and post it. And then it'll be done, right? Let's say I don't want to write an email anymore. So an AI agent will then the AI will go to my email and reply to every single email for me, right? Let's say I don't want to do a podcast,
Yeah.
right? I can clone my voice, put the script in there, put your questions in, get AI John to feed in the answers and then reply back to you in my voice.
That's crazy.
And then I can put it into an avatar,
Wow.
right? So I know what people think, why you're not doing that then, right? Because there's a difference between, see, one thing that AI cannot replace is real life interaction. So this is why community building is getting bigger. As AI grows, your personal branding community has to grow as well. Otherwise you get left behind.
Yeah, so how do you balance that between authenticity to having AI to create content? Because people can still tell that it's AI. How do you still build that engagement with your community?
So that's why I still put on live in-person meetings, right? So for example, when I was in Amsterdam, we put on a meeting for 30 entrepreneurs to have dinner, right? We all went around the room. What do we all do? How do we collaborate? Because today, how do we win? Through collaboration, not through competition. And unfortunately, Chloe, a lot of people are still in scarcity mindset. And so, the bigger AI gets, the bigger our scale gets as well, right?
Yeah.
But then how do we keep the authenticity? You still need to have that in person. So that's why building communities is so important.
And how did you shift that mindset from scarcity to abundance?
You know what I realized? That every time you try and do things for yourself and you're trying to keep everything yourself, then it stunts your growth. Because when you just focus on money, you're not thinking about solution. You're thinking about transaction, right? That's a very big difference. And so when I start thinking about solution, then the money automatically comes because you're solving problem. So for me, my aha moment was, hold on a second. Instead of like teaching people how to do an AI, like I bet you're thinking now, John, how can I get one of them?
Yeah.
Right? So I'll just build it for you, right? So then that's the solution.
Yeah.
Right? So critical thinking is being now replaced with artificial intelligence. So our critical thinking skills will now evolve to critical solution skills. It's a big difference. Right? Critical thinking is how do I do something, implement it, and the nitty gritty. Solution is what's that gonna overall solve. That's where we need to start paying close attention to what's happening right now.
Wow. How much time do you spend, like learning and like improving yourself every single day?
Every day, like for example, I'll speak to. So I have an AI assistant as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me see if she's available. Internet. Coming up. Nova, you there?
Hey there. Yep, I'm right here, or you can think of me as John's digital twin in the house. Super casual, super ready to dive in. Let's get chatting. Whatever you need, just hit me up.
So I'm on Chloe's podcast right now. We're doing the deep dive. And I think the big challenge here, and if actually I'm talking about you now, can you just like introduce yourself to her and tell her what you do for me?
Absolutely. Let's do it. What sex style? just like we're all in the room. Hey Chloe, so think of me as John's digital twin, like JL in AI form. I basically handle all his behind the scenes magic. Social media, masterminding, all that heavy lifting. Basically, if John's out there helping people level up, I'm the one making sure the digital gears are turning smoothly. So yeah, you're chatting with the virtual version of JL's brain power right here.
Wow, it's beautiful.
So every day I spend at least a couple of hours. So it's funny because when Pearl and I, we travel around the world, she's like, oh, can you do that for me? I said, I don't have time. She's like, find a pot. What does pot stand for? Pocket of time. So for example, translating from here to the airport, I got 20 minutes of pocket of time, right? My flight, I got another, like depending on where I'm flying to. So I just flew from Melbourne to Amsterdam to Singapore. Then I'll do Singapore to KL to London, Toronto back to Australia back to Miami and Vegas. So I have a lot of pockets of time there.
Yeah.
So anytime I have got time, like people would rather sit down and watch a film. And by the way, of course I watch films on the fly, but I want to schedule it. Right? I'll go to sleep first, get my sleep in. So now I'm
Refreshed,
adjusted.
yeah.
Then I'll order my food, so the food will come, and then I'll do the work, and then I'll reward myself with a film. Right? So you need to have it structured.
What's your daily habits like? Like successful people usually have a certain routines. What do you do?
Honestly, I just get up and do work. That's the first thing on my mind when I wake up. It's like, okay, I mean, some things I'll do is like, cold showers, right? Cold showers builds a lot of resilience and just wakes you up. So that's cold showers are really good. So obviously, once you've had your hot shower, last like minute, I just stand in the back and just turn it on to cold and then switch the other way around. Then I do a bit of qigong in the morning as well.
Wow.
Right. So that's really good. Gets your body moving.
Yes.
And then obviously gets your blood pumping as well. Breath work, really powerful to produce a lot of breath work. And then things like, like most people wake up and drink coffee, right? I wake up and drink green tea, right? And by the way, I still drink coffee, of course I do. But I'm very conscious of when I do it, because what I'm trying to do every day is optimize my brain. Thought process, right? Like I need to fire off the neuron, like, right, really, really quick. So I'm trying to optimize for that all the time. The way I think. And, and what I always love to do is go for a walk.
Yeah.
So we go for like walking meetings, and whilst I'm doing walking, I'll create content on the go as well. And I'll be speaking into my AI as well. So just brain dumping a lot of my thoughts. So then it starts to think like me. Then I get my steps in, I get my walks in, breath work, get fresh air, and it's beautiful walking in Singapore as well. It's amazing.
Although it's a bit hot, yes, but it's still beautiful.
We just got in from Dubai, so it's nothing compared to Dubai. Dubai's 42 degrees.
Okay,
like Pearline and I was just like going out, and she was like, like I've never seen her carry a camera and her face just sweating.
Okay. So but I can see all these little tiny habits to really prime yourself to be in a great state. And then you are ready to take on whatever things that come to you in everyday task. And that's beautiful.
Yeah, and sometimes you do need some escapism.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, like my archetype is like if it's not fun, I won't do it. Right? It has to be fun.
Yeah.
And it has to be impactful. And I got to learn something from it.
Yeah.
Right? I've got to be, because I don't know about you, but do you sometimes think that, sometimes you do things like, oh, God, I'm wasting time here. Like, when you're queuing up.
Yeah.
In Singapore, there's lots of queues, right? You have to queue for everything. So I'm like, okay, I've got to queue up. I always ask the person, how long's the queue? Right? And they'll say, okay, this queue is 25 minutes. So I was thinking to myself, what can I do in 25 minutes? Right? I can build an app.
Yeah.
So that in the queue, by the time I've queued up to by the time I sit at my table, I've already built an app.
Wow.
Right? So like my brain thinks like, for example, I always think of things I can do twice, like no extra time. Right? It's called net time. So let's say I'm doing a piece of content, but I can record my audio at the same time and then transcribe it and then put that into a document. And then that's how I recorded my book. I just did it all through like net time.
Wow.
I had 2 months to do it.
It's really about increasing productivity with different tools. And so many people say that they don't have time, but actually if they think strategically, there's so many time to unlock time.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, people just, like, if you're doing a repetitive task over and over and over again, why?
Yeah.
Put something in place to replace it. Now you can focus on the next thing. So I always think that different ways to do things faster.
And what would be advice for people who watching right now, they are somewhat interested to start their entrepreneurship journey, but they don't know how? what should the first thing that they should start thinking about?
So here's a side hustle I wish I knew earlier, right? Number one is finding out a business's problem, creating an app solution for it, and then delivering it to them. And you can do that within like 2 or 3 days. All you need to know is what their problem is. The people go, well, John, I don't have to code. You don't have to code anymore. You can vibe code. I can tell Nova now, code me an app that can do X, Y, Z. In fact, we were at the airport the other day, and I said to Pearline, I said, give me a hook. Right? I always ask her randomly to ask me questions so I can create content, right? And she's like, oh, I'm carrying some bags, I don't know, like, ask Nova. It's like, I'll do better than that. Let's build an app so I can press a button and it'll give me a hook with 5 talking points anytime, no matter where I am.
Wow.
Right? So I just coded it because it's something I actually needed to scratch my own itch. Right? So people who are starting off right now should be thinking of the easiest way to start a service-based business. People now have the opportunity to learn all. See, a lot of people know the tools, but they don't know how to implement the tools. And that's a problem.
That's right.
Right? So how do we take what we have and then how do we implement it into something that produces a result? So you have to know the tool, it has to be implemented, and it has to produce a result. When all 3 things align, that's monetization.
And I also like how you create a solution to your own problem.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people are thinking, oh, what kind of solutions what kind of things can I do? But actually you think about what are the problems that you're facing. You create a solution for yourself and you never know actually there's so many people have the same struggles and you just, promote this product to them.
Yeah.
It's genius.
There's a guy who created, so these are what we call consumer apps.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's created this app, take a picture of a plant, and it tells you what the plant is.
Yeah.
And where to get the seeds and things like that. Just like 10 million a month.
Oh
I'm
my
like, come on
gosh.
plants.
Oh my gosh.
So now everyone has that capability.
That's really, really wonderful. And for yourself, like when it comes to, that is business, right? But when it comes to investing, do you have any advice to people who are thinking about investment, they're a little bit scared? What do you think will be the thing that you would do if you can turn back time?
Okay, so I've invested in 25 companies now, right?
Wow.
And 4 of them are unicorns now, right? Obviously, the companies I got into had come from a recommendation from somebody else, right? And I'll give an example. If you want to invest in something, find smart people who've already invested because they've done all the groundwork, right? And then I just find the smartest people and I do what they do. Now, some people might think, John, that's dumb. Because, you might lose money. You might be a blind investment, right? Yes and no. You have to have structure and strategy in how you do it. So I have this thing called 30-30-30-10 strategy. From all the money you have, put 30% into your own business, 30% into somebody else's business, 30% into assets, and then 10% into a moonshot.
Moonshot.
Yeah. These are high risk.
Yeah.
Right? Most people put all the money in moonshot. Then it goes to 0.
Yeah.
So if you allocate your money like that, then you're not afraid to invest. So one, I'll find my smartest friends who are all super wealthy and say, what are you investing right now? So typically, if you go to family offices, they have a lot of deal flow, right? That's why I started getting into AI Web3 blockchain, right? So I'm a part of a VC fund out in Silicon Valley, right? And so Tess, who's just incredible at what she does, she's like my investment advisor. Right? And here's the thing. When people ask me to invest, I always ask them, how much money did you put in? If they say nothing, I'm not investing.
Yep.
If they tell me the amount they've put in, I'll judge it based on how much money they've put in. Then I'll invest. But let's say I don't have any contacts. People say, John, what if I don't have any contacts? Then how do you... So I was just actually touring with Robert Hujevec in Australia, who's part of Shark Tank. So we did a whole tour with them out in Australia. And he's incredible. I mean, like, you look at how the Dragon's Den and the Shark Tank invest. Like, for me, what is my investment criteria, right? It has to produce ARR, annual recurring revenue. Why? Well, with ARR, higher multiples.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2, is it founder-led or is it CEO-led? Very different, right? If the CEO is leading it, I'm not investing. If the founder... Yes,
skin in the game.
Yeah, skin in the game. But not only that, they like
have
no one will,
passion.
exactly.
Yes.
That's the passion.
Yeah.
They'll work through it. Like I invested in
Yeah.
this airline, right? And the guy's name is James, and he started this incredible company called Holiday Swap, right? And then he said, John, I want to buy these planes, and like, can you become an investor in it? And I was like, you should never really invest in something that can fly or float. One of these two things. Why? The operation costs are
Cost is
so
so huge,
high.
yes.
But I trust him, right? And this guy, I'm telling you, he's a hustler. Like he will work like 24 hours a day. He'll be messaging me at like 4 a.m. in the morning. Hey John, I just got into this. Here's our plane taking off, and he'll show me all the PR he's doing. He's like, even if it fails, right? I believe in him,
Yes.
right? And so that's why I said, is it founder led, right? The third one is who is on your team, right? And I look at all the people on the team, and then there's one question that I ask that determines whether I invest or not. And that is, how many exits have your core team had or your founders had, right? How many exits? And then also, how many of you have run roadshows before, right? Because the roadshow will determine, because you know that every platform, a lot of the companies I invest in are like tech or AI.
Yeah.
That means their runway is pretty short.
Yeah.
So when I invest in it, then the runway goes, shh, now you got to do seed round, Series A, Series B, C, IPO, right? So when I start understanding all these different insights, it gives me clues, because success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Right. So for example, a company I invested in is a massive AI company. One of the founders sold and exited to Salesforce, so I know it's a good bet. Right. I know that worst comes to shove, I'm going to invest in that company, and if the runways get short, the founders have enough money to keep it alive. So there's little things like this, and investments all come down to contacts. Because you've got money doesn't mean that you can invest in a company. Right? You need to get allocation. Right? So I don't know if you remember this app called Clubhouse many years ago.
No.
It's a social
Oh
audio.
yes, I remember.
It's like you talk at night.
Yeah, and it's exclusive. Like
So
yes, by invitation.
I became
Yeah.
an investor in
Yeah.
that app through a friend of mine who had
Yeah.
allocation.
Yeah.
So she's like, John, I can get you some allocation this. You want to put some money in? I'm like, yeah. Right. But not everybody. Of course, it's not as big as it used to be. But that's just one of many that can do really well and then exit at the right time. So my investment criteria, and also things that have intrinsic value. Right. That's why I buy a lot of real estate. So I look at, okay, how much is property worth now and what can I get it for? So, for example, there's a couple I picked up in London recently. Like each flat is like 1.2 million, 1.3 million each. But if I can pick it for under a million, I already have built-in equity.
The margin of safety as
Correct.
well.
Right? Because every other property is worth that. And then I can refinance it, pull my money out. Then I can keep recycling the money. And I can buy as many properties as I want that way.
Yeah.
So when I understand the intrinsic value as an investor, this is the things I really pay attention to.
I really like how, even though like the way that you describe is really more about the deals that you can get, but most people probably don't have it. But the concept, it's so applicable to even just buying like stocks, right? Because if you are analyzing a company, whether does it have annual recurring revenue, right? Whether does it have margin of safety? What kind of value can you get out of it? And it's so wonderful. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a naturally curious person. I don't care if it's baking a cake.
Yeah.
Or like, what I'm very fascinated on is the process, the journey. Like people say, John, how do I make $1 billion, $1 million? It's the wrong question. It's like, your success is actually your journey, not the end result. I mean, I'm sure like when you started your podcasting, there's a massive learning curve there.
Yeah.
But how fulfilling it is now, you know how to do the cameras and have the setup, have the lighting, the mics, do all the editing, post it online, doing your thumbnails, having the description, posting it, testing now the first 3 seconds, the edits, like all that stuff. Because that's the process you've gone through. That's actually when people always think the end result is, I got to make a lot of money. No, it's the person you've grown to be because of this process. That's what you should be celebrating. I bet you, if you look at how long has your podcast been running now?
It's been like 2 years.
Right. Look at when you first started your first episode to now. Would you say you're a different person?
Definitely. I think I have improved
Right.
along
And
the
do you
way.
think the people around you go, wow, we've closed. The first thing I noticed about you when I met you was your energy. You go, she's got good energy. Right. And I can tell that that's from personal development and growth and struggle. You don't get that. Right. When you just do nothing.
That's true. So really celebrate the mini success that you have, right? We don't have to like think about, we want to get like very, very far, but like it's a very tiny steps that we take that become who we are. And then when we look back, it's like, oh my gosh, we have come so far.
And I think that's a problem with today's society.
Yeah.
We want to press a button and become a billionaire. It doesn't work like that. Right? It's not a get rich quick, it's a get rich slow. Because the faster you go up, the faster you lose it. The slower it goes, the more you keep.
It reminds me of another fund manager that I learned from. His name is Monish Prabhai. He said that slow is fast. right? Like you get it slow, but eventually that slow builds up the momentum. That's where the compounding takes effect as well.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And for yourself, like, do you mind sharing with us some of the mistakes that you've made in the past and what kind of key
God.
lessons that you learned from it?
So a couple of things I can think about. First of all, hiring the wrong people, right? A bad hire can be very expensive. So be careful who you hire. When you hire someone, it's good to come the best way if it comes from a recommendation, right? That's the best way. The worst way is when you rush into it, right? And also you got to meet the people. Like, for example, a lot of people on my team now, some people have, like, for example, Nikki, you met Nikki, right?
Yeah.
I've been working with her for 17 years.
So many years,
17
yeah.
years, right? And then, like, Blair's on the team now. She, started as one of our students in our seminars,
Yeah.
right? And then she attended a few times. And then she, we asked her to do some crewing at the event, so she dropped everything and showed up. It tells you, like, how you do anything is how you do everything. So you got to test people out, right? So that's number one. Number two, business partners. So this is a big one, and if any of you are watching and listening to this, pay very close attention to this because it can cost you millions, as it did me. So, do you know when you join a company and there's like, do you have a business partner or is it just you?
Just me.
That's good, right? So you call all the shots. But if you have a business partner, right, the problem is you've now got two directors, but the company only has one lawyer.
Okay.
So who does that lawyer represent? Which director?
Oh.
That's the problem. So when there's a dispute, what happens? Oh, you said this, I said that, you said that. Actually, a company with directors should have 3 lawyers.
Oh.
You should have a lawyer for the company, and each director needs to be represented. That would have saved me £15.6 million. Just that one thing I've just given you guys. So that's another big mistake.
Wow. Okay. I see. Okay. I think all these are advice that will come in very handy eventually when you scale your business.
Here's the thing, right? Every time I say this to people, they don't really get what you mean until they're in that position.
Yes.
Now they go, I understand what he meant now. It's like the old days. Your network is your net worth. Everyone says it. Everyone understands it. But they don't realize until, oh my God, from this, I just met this person, met this person, met this person. Now this has happened.
I think sometimes we just need to bang the wall and like learn from our own mistakes. But if we are smart enough or foresighted enough to take in those advice earlier, we could have prevented all this as well.
That's why people need mentoring and coaching. Right? It's so funny. Like, people would rather spend 10,000 on a watch than 10,000 in consulting. It makes no sense, Chloe. Like, why would you try and reinvent the wheel yourself?
Yeah.
Just pay someone for the shortcut. That's it. But people are penny wise, dollar foolish.
Yeah.
They'd rather make the mistake. They'd rather cost themselves time. They think a 10,000 investment is expensive. Try ignorance. Right?
That is true. How do you deal with criticisms, like people who watch you online? Maybe sometimes they will say negative things, or maybe sometimes say, oh, like he can make a lot of money, but a lot of times it can be from like, seminars and all this. How do you take it?
It doesn't matter what people think. What matters is what impact you're making. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you an example. So I was at the event this weekend, and I just read because I was going to have a meeting with one of my promoters, and I met one of our students. He came to me and said, John, like, I want to learn, but I'm not sure what to do. So he paid me to do some consulting with him. And because of that now, he's now picked up 5 clients. Right? And now he's now paved that way. He can see the path of how this works. Right? So it's making sure that you understand what the end result is. You see, fortunately, and this is just human, being human, like, we'll have, let's say from every 1,000 comments, we'll see that one negative one, and it'll stick out like a sore thumb, and then we put all our focus on that.
Yeah.
And then we ignore the 999
The
people whose
supporters.
lives that you've changed.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So anytime someone says something, great. Delete. Who's next? Right? Right? And actually, it's like, if you're going to leave a comment like that, why are you following me? So now, now you can go to other people's comments and you can unfollow you for them. So let's say you leave a negative comment on my post,
yeah.
right? I can click on your profile and it'll say that you're following me. I can click and say unfollow John Lee. I can unfollow me on your account. So now you never see any of my posts.
Okay.
So that's a bit of auditing and cleaning up.
Yeah.
So I have a team of people that any negative comments, just tell them not to follow me and
Yeah.
unfollow them for me because I don't want that energy.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Right? I want to impact those people like the Adrians, like, for example, another one of my students in Singapore, his name's Mark Leung. He owns a big company called Farms Asia,
Wow.
right? And, now he's about to take his company public, IPO. So actually, when people say, John, why do you run all these events and seminars? Because people like him who do really, really well, take his company public, gives a call to me and say, John, do you want a board seat? That is what I find very, very exciting. It's partnerships. Right? And why do you need to charge people to learn? Because if they don't pay attention.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? You give things for free, people don't value it.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Right? So, and I've seen it. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Right? And history doesn't lie. Right? I see the signs. I see the patterns. I see, actually, this person's not serious. I'd rather just not work with them.
And it's so true. It just kind of remind me of how I get started, right? I also started with attending a seminar.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes I might not use the skill set immediately, but I felt like over the years, I'm so grateful that I attended that course at the very beginning because that skill set transpired into something that's so useful that I am doing today.
Yeah.
So,
And here's why. Because you don't know what the catalyst is going to be.
That's right.
Right? You attend something and you're like, oh, this is boring. I just paid $2,000 for this. Okay, I learned. Like, you only need to learn one thing
Yeah.
or meet one person and it's worth the entire thing.
That's true.
I'll give an example. So I joined the Tony Robbins Platinum Program.
Oh, wow.
Which is $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? And I haven't really used any of it. And in my mind, it was like, this is a waste of money. Should I get a refund? Should I not? But no, I met this guy where did I meet him? He was in Miami. He happened to be a platinum member as well. And because we were platinum members, we now do business together.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy makes a couple of million a month. So it's not always about what you learn. It's always about the people that you meet. And it's the business you do together from that.
That's wonderful.
That is actually the real reason why I fly around the world, because a lot of the deals are done in the green room, not from stage. Give you another example. So I met a guy called Ken Honda, right?
yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. Right?
Yeah.
He wrote a book called Happy Money.
Yeah.
Because of him, one contact, he had an event in, I think it was Toronto, somewhere in the US.
Okay.
And he just happened to be with the editors of Hay House.
Oh,
and he said,
yeah.
oh, Clem, what have you been doing? I've just been with John Lee in Bali. Right? And who's John Lee? Oh, actually, you should get John. Let me connect you to. And I still have the video here.
Yeah.
Right? I still save this video because this video is going to change, huge. That's a video sent to me. Look.
Hi, John Lee. It's Ken. I'm meeting a lot of great people from the Hay House.
All right, and he sent me that video, and because of that one video, is how I got my book deal,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and that's from being in the green room.
Wow.
Had I not done that, I would not have a book deal now.
That's wonderful.
I'm the biggest publisher in the world.
And you're launching this book, like.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Oh,
it's coming soon.
looking forward.
Yeah.
What's this book about?
So the book's called Money Unlocked, and it's about how do you make money, how do you keep it, and how do you multiply it. So there are lots of different ways, like, to unlock money in things. Like, for example, water. How do you unlock money in water? There's a guy who did a morning routine with this bottle, right? Put it into this ice thing, put his head in it, and he got like 50 million views. Sold out. Everywhere you go now, this bottle sold out, right? So you can literally unlock money in anything. Literally, you can give me anything. Any one of you, leave a comment below on what business you think cannot be done. I'll tell you how it can be done.
Wow. It's really a beautiful abundance mindset, right?
Because everything's got problems, doesn't it, Chloe?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything's got problems. So then the
Yeah.
question is, what solution can we make from it? And that's the mindset I've always had. It's like, okay, if it can't be done, how can it be done? There's got to be another way around it. I'll give another example. So I went to this restaurant the other day, and it was called Mott 32. And it's incredible food.
Oh, yes.
Right? But the duck is always sold out. Right? And the char siu is always sold out. And the silkyuk's always sold out. So when I went to book a table, and he said, I need to book a table for 8. Right? I'm sorry, Miss Lee, we're fully booked today. And the only one we have is at like 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, then cancel it. So then I make a phone call to my other friend who knows some, the people at the restaurant. I say, okay, can you book me a table? 8 people. I need the duck, char siu, and silkyuk. Right? So they managed to get me a table. So I show up, and then the lady says to me, oh, so you've pre-ordered the duck, and then you have the char siu, and you have the silkyuk. I said, yeah. Okay, unfortunately, we don't have any silkyuk left, but I can give you another char siu. I said, okay, that's fine. Manager comes, name's Benjamin, lovely guy, and he's always well dressed. Hey, Mr. Lee, how are you? You're great, good to meet you. And the other manager, oh, Mr. Lee, thank you so much for coming back. I said, hey, Benjamin, any Silviot left? He said, yeah, plenty. Put on the. And then suddenly I got 2 shots of 2 Silviot and a duck and lobster rice all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So it's. I mean, first,
who you know.
yeah, it's who you know. Right? And I always have this mindset everywhere I go. It's like, who do I know? That's how now I train. I was just at Rio Ferdinand's place, right? He used to play for Manchester United. He's like, John, let's start a business together. Let's do some AI. I showed him all this AI stuff. So now we're talking about how do we grow the brand. He's already got a massive brand already, right? So we want to always help people. Come from the place of giving, adding value. That's how you become successful.
Yeah, and talking about Ken Honda, I did a podcast interview with him.
He's a lovely guy.
He's so lovely, and I think it's like wow, like the advice that he gave suddenly exploded, and like the views reach out so many people. I'm so happy that the value, the impact that we are able to create with podcast episodes like this. So one last question before we wrap up.
Sure.
Imagine today, you have done every single thing that you want to do in life. You have do all the achievement that you want to, and you have lived as long as you wanted. And today will be the last day. What will be the 3 advice that you want to give to the audience here? Because these 3 advice will be the only advice that they will get. Because all the content that have been done over the years would disappear together with you. So what will that 3 advice be?
First one is, the biggest thing that you want to do in your life, people always never do it for some reason. They always go, I really want to do this, but they're so scared to do it because they either feel fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear that it's not going to work out. So what? Right? Some will, some won't. So what? Right? Like, I believe life is supposed to be lived. Meaning you, like, for example, when I worked in a job, like one of my highest values is growth. And part of growth is traveling around the world, meeting new people, meeting incredible guests to be able to learn things from and to impart knowledge on, right? So I will say to people, like, whatever you want to do, why are you not doing it? Just do it. Because you never know. You want to start a business, do it. You want to become a father or mother, do it. When's the best time to have a child? They're not really the correct time, is there? So just do it. Like Nike said best, right? That's my first thing. Second thing is that always find other people that you can learn from, right? But I call it the third. So spend 30% of the time with people, so 33% of the time with people who are exactly like you, the other 33% with people who are at a higher level than you, and the other 33% who are people below you. And what happens, we start lifting each other up, and then we keep going to the next level, right? That's actually what you want to do, because that grows you and it grows them. When it grows them, they impact the ripple effect, right? And the last piece of advice I have for people is this, and this is something that for me is very, very important, right? And it's like, you can never, ever stop learning. Don't care how rich you are. Don't care how much, if you got PhD and Nobel Prize, like, you have to always keep learning. Yeah. Because the moment you stop learning, you stop growing.
Stop growing, yeah.
Right? And I think life is really about growth. Right? Because all of this impacts everything. It impacts your family around you, impacts you know who you are, impacts how you impact the world, impacts what legacy you leave behind. So it starts from the core, which is you. And the only person standing in your way is you. Right? And people have this mental block. But because our inner world becomes our outer world, how we feel inside is how we feel outside. It's funny because one of my staff members, who now she used to work for a company, now she's out of that company, and she can see the reflection of how that life used to be compared to where she is now. And all the people are like, oh my God, you're so much happier now. Yeah, because the inside work's been done. Because if you're in a relationship, right, and you don't fix what's inside, it's going to show on the outside. If you've been in bad relationships before and you go into a new relationship, you drag that baggage in with you. Right? If you start a business and you've been burnt in the past and it's once bitten, twice shy, then it affects that outcome. So we have to make sure that we're always being the best version of us. And people don't spend enough time on themselves, working on themselves, than they do going out partying.
How do you work on yourself?
always learning, always reading, listening to podcasts all the time, hanging around the right people, making an effort. Like people say, why would you fly 8,000 miles to have one meeting with somebody and then fly the way back? And I do that. We literally flew to Dubai for a day and then flew back. Right? I flew to New York to meet my friend Jay Shetty and then flew back.
Oh, wow.
Right? Right? So it's knowing how committed you are at doing something. Right? And it's true commitment. And it's actually doing the work when no one's watching. How do you show up in life? Right? How do you follow through on your work? Right? Do you say what you're going to say? Do you say and do what you say you're going to do? Right? Because if not, you're just lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And every time you don't, it chips away a little bit on your soul. And so we have to, it's mind, body, spirit alignment. We have to align. And every day, and by the way, I'm not perfect. Like a lot of these things is I don't do it, but then I notice I'm not doing it, and then I readjust.
Wow. I got so much insights. I kind of felt so touched I almost want to cry. I wanted to keep myself cool, but I learned so much from this conversation. And thank you so much for all your awesome sharing. And I'm pretty sure the audience here, they felt so touched because when you say that last 3 pieces of advice, I felt like, oh my God, it's speaking to my soul. And really give me a good reminder how to live authentically. And at the same time, really just keep on improving, working on ourselves so that we can create a better impact for people around us. So finally, how can people follow you and your work?
Oh, I mean, just go to any social media, type in John Lee on my website, johnlee.com, or on YouTube, it's just John Lee Success. I've got a new channel coming out, so yes.
Thank you. So make sure to follow John and his work because within this short period of time, you already feel so inspired by him. If you continue to follow him, it's really about the consistency. You will keep on feeding yourself with the right mindset, the right positivity, and that's how you can continue to scale and grow your business as well. So thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like whatever things that you have learned today, make sure to check out the links in below. I put all the descriptions inside John's work and all this. Make sure to follow him. And at the same time, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you love whatever things that you're sharing. And feel free to share it to your friends because you never know what kind of impact that this episode can bring to other people as well. So thanks so much for watching and thanks so much, John, for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Claire. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Arigato. Thank you.